The room seemed to contract the instant he took the seat beside me. I didn't even have to look up to feel it. There was a tightening in the air, a subtle stiffening of spines, forks pausing midair before scraping softly against ceramic as people pretended to stay engaged in their conversations. It was the kind of silence that doesn't happen naturally, one that arrives with purpose, with weight, with expectation. Thanksgiving at my aunt's place was usually a mess of noise and overlapping voices, kids running between chairs, my uncle yelling for someone to pass the gravy, even though it was right in front of him. But that moment wasn't chaotic. It was absolute stillness, like the whole house drew a breath and held it. Then my uncle, always too loud, too nosy, too proud of being honest, broke the quiet with a snort. He lifted his glass and smirked. "So," he said, his voice dripping with amusement, "you still unemployed?" A few forced chuckles came from around the table, thin, mean, the kind of laughter people release to signal they're on the winning team. My cousin took her chance immediately. She always did. Her hair perfect, her smile perfect, her cruelty perfectly disguised as humor. "Oh, come on," she said, eyes glinting. He peaked in high school. Let him enjoy the nostalgia. The words hit where old wounds always do, sharp, but dulled by memory. Familiar pain hurts differently. You almost learn to wear it. I didn't answer. I never answer. People mistake silence for surrender because they've never seen how sharp it can be, how much strength it takes to hold it. But the pattern broke when her fiancé leaned slightly toward me. While the rest of them returned to their conversations, and my cousin basked in the attention she loved so desperately, he slid his phone under the table, screen facing me. "Mind if I ask something?" he whispered. I shrugged without looking at him, eyes on the mashed potatoes I had no intention of eating. He typed my name. Then he waited for the results to load. It took about 3 seconds for his face to drain of color, 3 seconds for him to see what she had seen months earlier, the night she realized her secrets weren't secrets anymore. And just like her, he froze, stunned into stillness. She and I had known each other long before any of this, back when I still believed family meant loyalty. She was the golden child, warm, charming, always ready with a hug or a compliment. I defended her when she needed it, and even when she didn't. I trusted her because I wanted to believe we'd survived the same fractured upbringing and grown into better versions of ourselves. But trust is fragile. It doesn't shatter loudly. It cracks quietly, in corners you don't check often enough. The first crack was small. A friend forwarded me an email at 2 a.m, a screenshot with my name, my company, and a confidential number that had never been released publicly. And next to it was her name, her price. At first, I excused it away, told myself it wasn't her. Someone hacked her. Someone stole her identity. Blood can run cold, but surely not frozen. Then came the second crack. A meeting she wasn't supposed to be in, with someone she shouldn't have known existed. She sat across from him, whispering numbers she shouldn't have had, selling information she didn't fully understand. After that, there was no denying it. She wasn't slipping. She was stealing. I didn't confront her. I just observed. Watched her trade pieces of my life like poker chips. Watched her leak updates in exchange for favors she didn't deserve. Watched her smile at family dinners like she wasn't gutting me in secret. The third crack wasn't a crack at all, it was a break. A bank transfer with her signature, money she had no right to touch. And in that moment, I didn't feel betrayed. I felt clarity. Some people betray because they're desperate. She betrayed because it entertained her. I didn't shout, didn't warn her, didn't accuse. I assembled. I traced every rumor, every leak, every message she forwarded, storing everything in a neat, unavoidable timeline. Evidence that spoke louder than I ever could. And then I sent it all to the man she'd been selling to. The one who thought she was loyal. He didn't appreciate finding out she'd been double-dipping. She lost him. Next, I sent it to her employer. She lost that too. Then, quietly, gradually, I dismantled any access she had to my world, accounts, files, tools, contacts. Every connection she had exploited, I sealed shut. She hadn't realized it yet, but she would. Truth, timed correctly, can be surgical. Which brings me back to Thanksgiving. Her fiancé was still scrolling, his thumbs shaking, his eyes wide as he flipped through articles and interviews. My work, my name, my board listings. I didn't need to peek. I already knew what he was seeing. My cousin across the table, meanwhile, was laughing like nothing had shifted. "So," she said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "what do you do these days since you're always so quiet?" Her fiancé swallowed hard. He started, but she cut him off with an annoyed wave. "Please." "He can barely." "Emily," he said louder this time. His voice cracked. "You didn't tell me your cousin is." Recognition flickered in his eyes first. Then fear. She reached for the phone, snatched it out of his hands, scrolled quickly, then stopped. Her face shifted slowly, the smugness draining, replaced by confusion, then panic. The same expression she wore months ago when she opened her front door and saw HR investigators on her porch.
She looked at me.
Really looked. "You knew," she whispered. I didn't nod, didn't smirk. I simply held her gaze. The silence wasn't a shield anymore. It was a verdict. Her fiancé leaned back, connecting the dots he hadn't known existed. "Did you do this to her?" I lifted my glass, took a sip of water, and answered calmly, "No. She did it to herself. I just stopped covering for her." My aunt blinked, confused. My uncle muttered a curse. But Emily, she understood. She pushed her chair back abruptly, scraping the floor as she bolted up, mumbling a fractured excuse as she hurried from the room. Her fiancé followed her, phone still in his hand, truth unfolding with every step down the hallway. The door slammed behind them. Thanksgiving resumed, but the energy was different now. Awkward, forced, missing the artificial sweetness of her laughter. I stayed still, breathing evenly, feeling no weight on my chest. Not guilt, not grief, just closure. Revenge isn't satisfying because someone falls. It's satisfying because of the silence afterward. The moment the person who underestimated you finally has nothing left to hide behind except the truth echoing back at them.